I have seen kingdoms rise quickly and vanish even faster. I have seen men pursue riches with haste and lose them before they are held. Speed can deliver instant reward, but it rarely preserves it. I tell you now, patience is the foundation upon which lasting wealth is built. A man who hurries to gather gold or gain often neglects the soil in which true fortune grows. I learned this through observation and through reflection. I watched merchants rush, trading without thought, seeking every opportunity without measure. They gained profit in the morning and lost it by evening. Their wealth vanished because it was not rooted in patience. The patient man, however, may appear slow, even idle. He examines, he plans, he waits. Yet his wealth grows steadily, like a tree planted on fertile ground. Roots deepen, branches strengthen, fruits appear at their appointed season. This is the difference between speed and patience. One gains quickly, but slips away. The other endures. I observed kings who sought conquest with haste. Their armies moved fast, but supplies were neglected. Victories were temporary, and losses swift. A patient ruler builds slowly. He fortifies his stores. He trains his people. He measures risk. His victories are lasting. The wise understand that wealth, material, knowledge, or influence requires time to mature. It cannot be rushed without sacrifice. I have tested this principle in my own life. I received riches and power. I could have indulged immediately, but I chose patience. I waited to invest, to build, to act. And what I cultivated in silence grew beyond what haste could ever achieve. Consider this: the river does not flood its banks instantly. It moves slowly, carrying nutrients, shaping the land, and giving life to all around. A storm may rush water downstream, but it leaves destruction in its path. The patient river nourishes steadily. The same is true of wealth. Rushing to acquire it may yield a temporary gain, but it often brings instability, debt, or loss. The patient man, who saves, invests, and waits, multiplies his treasure quietly. I observed farmers in my kingdom. One plowed hastily, sowing seeds in haste. He hoped to harvest quickly, but many seeds withered, and the yield was meager. Another farmer worked with care. He prepared the soil. He planted at the right season. He watered and tended patiently. His harvest was abundant. Wealth follows the same principle. Quick schemes fail. Steady effort endures. I also noticed that patience protects the wise from greed. A man who seeks rapid gain often becomes blind to caution. He risks all for the promise of speed. The patient man gains steadily and therefore can discern true opportunity from illusion. Patience teaches judgment. It reveals which paths will lead to lasting benefit and which lead only to fleeting reward. I watched traders in the marketplace chasing every trend, every rumor, every chance to profit immediately. Many left poorer than they began. The patient trader waited. He observed. He calculated. He acted when the season was right. His wealth multiplied naturally, as if time itself was his ally. Consider this also. Patience nurtures relationships. Those who rush often destroy trust through thoughtless words or hasty promises. Those who act with patience build loyalty, respect, and partnership. Wealth is not merely gold, it is influence, support, and goodwill. Speed may gain gold, but patience gains everything that makes gold secure. I will tell you another truth. Even knowledge acquired hastily is fragile. It is easily forgotten, misapplied, or misused. Knowledge gained patiently through careful study and reflection becomes wisdom. Wisdom is the truest form of wealth. Haste may acquire coins, but patience acquires understanding. And understanding compounds over time, yielding opportunities no speed can create. I saw kings rush into battles, desiring swift conquest. They won quickly, yet lost dominions through neglect, because patience was absent in their strategy. The patient ruler waits. He studies terrain, allies, and timing. He strikes when victory is certain. The harvest of patience is secure, even if the process feels slow. Even in my own administration, I measured every decision carefully. I delegated, observed, and waited. In doing so, I ensured that each gain was lasting, and each endeavor built upon the last. Remember this: hastiness invites mistakes. Mistakes invite loss. Patience multiplies gains, prevents ruin, and strengthens every foundation. I have spoken of wealth, of power, and of knowledge. All of them require time. Speed may provide momentary advantage, but only patience creates endurance. A river may carve the land quickly in flood, but the river that flows steadily shapes mountains over ages. So too with wealth. It grows slowly, securely, and with lasting impact. Even the smallest patient effort yields greater returns than hasty ambition. Those who understand this principle are rich in resources, wisdom, and influence, even if others seem to gain faster. Haste may dazzle, but patience endures. I will tell you a story from my own reign. There was a merchant in Jerusalem who sought quick fortune. He borrowed heavily, invested recklessly, and moved faster than reason allowed. In a single season, he appeared wealthy, but in the next, he lost everything. He came to me, humbled, and asked what he had missed. I told him, "Your wealth vanished because it had no foundation. You rushed the soil, and the seeds could not take root." I then spoke of another man who moved slowly, deliberately. He saved diligently, chose opportunities wisely, and invested with care. Years passed. His wealth grew quietly, solid and enduring, built upon patience rather than haste. Even when others mocked his slowness, he persisted. And in time, he surpassed the one who sought speed. This is the nature of enduring wealth. It is not measured in months or seasons, but in decades. The patient man understands the rhythm of life. He knows that opportunities must be seized at the right moment, and that forcing them too soon brings ruin instead of gain. I have observed rulers, too, who sought to expand their kingdoms quickly. They ignored counsel, pressed forward without preparation, and conquered lands only to lose them soon after. The patient ruler, by contrast, studied alliances, supply lines, and timing. He waited until all was ready, and then acted decisively. His victories were lasting. Patience is not laziness. It is calculated discipline. It requires foresight, restraint, and the courage to resist immediate gratification. I have seen men give up small gains because they were inconvenient or slow. Yet those who persisted steadily achieved far greater rewards. This is a truth of wealth. Small, consistent actions compound. Hasty moves may produce fleeting profit, but steady effort multiplies beyond measure. Consider the fields of my kingdom. The diligent farmer plants each seed at the proper depth in the proper season. He waters and tends with care. He does not demand an immediate harvest. The impatient farmer, however, scatters seeds carelessly, pulls up the plants too soon, or harvests before maturity. The results are clear. The patient farmer gains abundance, the impatient one scarcity. The principle is the same in commerce, knowledge, and leadership. Even wisdom requires patience. A man who rushes to understand often misses subtle truths. He may act upon incomplete knowledge and suffer loss. The patient learner reads, observes, reflects, and waits until understanding is complete. When he acts, his decisions are powerful, enduring, and beneficial. Patience also teaches humility. It reminds a man that not everything can be forced. It reveals that some things must unfold according to their own timing. Those who respect timing gain harmony with the natural order. Those who defy it invite instability. I have seen merchants, rulers, and scholars all fail because they ignored patience. Yet I have also seen men of modest means grow into wealth and influence because they acted with deliberate restraint. Speed dazzles, but it often fades. Patience grows silently, and when the world notices, the rewards are immense and lasting. I will share another observation. The impatient man often loses twice. First, he loses the opportunity itself because he acts before the time is right. Second, he loses what he has already gained because he has not allowed it to mature, to be secured, to be protected. Patience prevents both losses. It allows accumulation, reflection, and correction. It teaches the wise to wait for proper alignment, resources, timing, people, and purpose. I also observed that haste creates stress. Men who move quickly, seeking rapid wealth, live in constant anxiety. The patient man, however, moves with rhythm, with order, with clarity. His mind is calm, his decisions sound, his life balanced. And this calmness attracts opportunity. Those who rush often repel help. Those who wait patiently invite allies and guidance. This is why patience creates wealth faster than speed. Not because speed is useless, but because speed without wisdom, without preparation, without restraint, often fails. Even in trade, the strongest horse loses if it runs too fast on weak ground. The patient man walks steadily and reaches farther. I have spoken of material wealth, but the principle applies to knowledge, influence, and relationships as well. All treasures that endure require patience. The impatient man may boast of quick gains, but his legacy is fragile. The patient man accumulates slowly, yet his gains outlast generations. I have witnessed this countless times in men of wisdom, merchants, and kings alike. Those who honor patience prosper steadily. Those who chase speed alone gain fleeting riches and enduring regret. Remember this truth. A small, deliberate effort today exceeds hasty actions tomorrow. A wealth built with patience is wealth that cannot be taken by storm, nor lost by folly. It grows silently, steadily, rooted in care, foresight, and restraint. I will tell you of a young man in my kingdom, eager for fortune. He rushed to invest his small inheritance in many ventures at once, each promised quick gain. He believed speed would multiply wealth, but the ventures were unstable, partners unreliable, and plans incomplete. Within a single year, his treasure was gone. He came to me in despair. I spoke. Fortune built quickly without patience is like a house on sand. It may stand for a while, but it will not endure the storms. I then showed him another path. He saved carefully, studied each opportunity, and acted only when preparation was complete. Years passed. His small inheritance grew quietly, steady as the sun rising. Eventually, he surpassed those who had chased rapid gain. This is the first lesson. Patience allows understanding. Quick action without understanding often leads to error. Patience teaches timing, strategy, and discernment. I also learned that patience strengthens character. A man who rushes to gain riches or status often becomes impatient with others. He demands obedience, loyalty, and speed. He is easily angered, quick to blame, and harsh in judgment. The patient man, however, tolerates delay, nurtures loyalty, and teaches through example. Patience shapes leaders as much as it builds wealth. Even in governance, rushing to implement change without observation leads to unrest. The patient ruler waits, observes, and plans. He acts decisively only when the conditions are right and his decisions last. Consider this: trees that grow too quickly are often weak. They bend in the wind and break under storms. Those that grow slowly, rooted deeply, stand firm for decades. So too with wealth. Rapid gains may impress, but they are fragile. Slow, deliberate accumulation resists loss, endures uncertainty, and multiplies over time. I observed many traders who chased trends. They acted in haste, hoping to profit from rumor. Their gains were temporary, and losses swift. The patient trader waited. He studied the market, considered partnerships, and moved only when opportunity was clear. He prospered steadily, while the impatient stumbled repeatedly. Even knowledge and skill follow the same law. A man who tries to learn quickly often grasps only fragments. He forgets, misapplies, or misjudges. The patient learner practices, reflects, and repeats. Over time, mastery is achieved. This is why I say, wealth is built faster through patience than speed, not in moments of haste, but in years of careful effort. Even relationships follow this truth. Trust and loyalty cannot be rushed. Those who seek influence too quickly often find it fragile, broken by small conflicts. The patient cultivates trust slowly, and it endures storms, distance, and difficulty. I also witnessed kings who sought conquest with speed. They acted boldly, claiming victory after victory, yet neglected preparation, resources, and counsel. Soon, their kingdoms crumbled, and allies abandoned them. The patient king observed, planned, and acted only when every element aligned. His rule was long, respected, and prosperous. Even the smallest patient actions compound. Saving a coin, investing it wisely, waiting for the right moment yields far greater reward than spending it recklessly. Every effort, however small, adds to the whole. Even knowledge, applied slowly and deliberately, becomes wisdom that creates opportunity. I have seen men who rushed for wealth become prisoners of debt, fear, and stress. The patient man remains free, secure, and strong. He does not act out of impulse. He acts out of foresight. Speed may dazzle, but patience ensures. A river moves swiftly in flood, destroying all in its path. The same river, flowing steadily, creates life, nourishes land, and endures for generations. So too with wealth, knowledge, and influence. Slow, steady, patient accumulation surpasses haste. Remember this. Those who act quickly often envy those who wait. They see the quiet prosperity, the calm authority, the enduring results, and they fail to understand the time it took. Patience is invisible until its rewards appear. It demands trust in the process, discipline, and humility. The impatient seek shortcuts. The patient embrace the journey. Even kings who have ruled wisely must respect time. No crown, no army, no riches can replace patience. The truly wealthy understand this. Wealth is preserved through restraint, expanded through foresight, and multiplied through patience. Those who disregard this law gain little, lose much, and teach others by their failures. The patient man, who respects timing and preparation, reaches heights that haste could never achieve. Even the smallest act, repeated faithfully, becomes a foundation for greatness. I have shared this wisdom not as a rule of theory, but as a law I have witnessed. Patience creates wealth faster than speed. It secures it, multiplies it, and protects it from misfortune. Act quickly only when certainty is sufficient. Act patiently always, and your gains will endure.